Congratulations, you just got approved for the American Express Platinum. Or maybe you've had the card for a little bit. Or maybe you're considering applying for the card. Well, regardless of that situation, the most important thing is that you know these are the 16 things you must do as soon as you get the card. Number 1, call for express delivery. This one might seem like a no-brainer, or for some of you, you might not know this, but a lot of credit cards can actually express deliver your card. In American Express, specifically on the Platinum, I have been able to get them to overnight it to me. So you get approved for Monday, you can have the card potentially on Tuesday, but you must remember to pretty much call as soon as you get the approval. Now, you might get a little bit of pushback, and so my pro tip here is tell them that you need it because you're traveling in the next 2 or 3 days, and for the most part, you can get it. And keep in mind, this is 100% free. So if they try to charge you, say no thanks, but for the most part, I don't think they're going to, so be sure to call them and get that card overnighted. 2, this one's a bit ironic, but the American Express has an entire page of all of the benefits, and I highly recommend you go in there to refresh yourself on some of them. This video is gonna cover a whole ton, but in that chart, you can take your time, scroll through, read through, learn more, all of that. I actually myself, every couple months or so, I'm gonna go in there to make sure, okay, am I actually tapping into every individual benefit? Because there are a ton loaded onto American Express Platinum. So I can leave a direct link either up on the screen here, or you can just kind of take a look at the screenshot of where you can find it on your online profile. 3, set up your transfer partners. Folks, this right here is probably the most valuable way to use your American Express points, and that is you earn them and then you transfer them to a flight partner or a hotel partner. But in order to do that, you have to be sure to link all of your individual programs. You don't want to get into a situation where you find an award and you're like, okay, I gotta get the points, but oh my gosh, I haven't linked it. Oh wait, I haven't made a frequent flyer account. Get all of that stuff sorted. And there are a ton of popular programs. Now, we could spend a whole video about what's the optimal way, who the best partner is, but honestly, largely that's gonna come down to you and your travel preferences. I can give you a quick example. One of the ways in which I use my American Express points is I transfer them to one of their partners, ANA, or also known as All Nippon Airways, flying to Japan. This was a round trip ticket where we flew out in business and we flew back in economy just because there wasn't business class availability. That cost us about 67,500 miles, I believe, and about $400 per person in taxes and fees. Now, if I had just done that as a cash booking, easily that probably would have been like a $6,000 or $7,000 flight. What was also really, really cool is I actually got to fly out on the Pokemon plane, just a little quirk. The flight attendants had like Pokemon aprons and stuff, and there's a lot of cool Pokemon themes there. Now, if you want to see a full breakdown of that, I can actually leave a review of that flight up here. It was called ANA's The Room Updated Business Class. But that's just an example of how I was able to get value from my American Express points, transfer them to ANA, and then making a booking on ANA's platform. So as you can see here, all the transfer partners, go ahead and make a frequent flyer account with all these programs and link them so you're ready to hit the ground running when you need your points. 4, enroll in Priority Pass ASAP. Priority Pass is what's gonna give you access to airport lounges. Airport lounges elevate your travel experience. However, it's not automatic and you do have to go ahead and enroll. I recommend you just call them, say, hey, set my Priority Pass up, and then they're gonna get that going. Now, Priority Pass is a separate company to American Express, and I personally have not really had much luck trying to get them to expedite me a Priority Pass card, but sometimes though they will just give you a virtual card number so you can start using it, assuming again that you're traveling soon. This didn't happen for American Express, but did happen for me on a Chase card in which I couldn't get the virtual number for some reason. I also couldn't get the card in time, but I was traveling, and Chase was able to grant me a one-time exemption. If I went into a lounge and charged it on my Chase card, they would reimburse me. I couldn't imagine why American Express wouldn't do the same, so note that that's a thing. But to avoid that situation altogether, as soon as you get the card, call American Express and say, hey, I want to enroll in Priority Pass, and get that card shipped out. 5, make sure you pick an airline for the airline incidental credit of $200. This is super simple. You just go in and you pick amongst one of the eligible airlines. And so if you're flying one of these airlines and you have an eligible charge, like, I don't know, paying for Wi-Fi, paying for food, paying for checked baggage, seat selection, all that, you're gonna be able to get a credit against it. Now, back in the day, you used to actually be able to buy gift cards and it would automatically get reimbursed in the system because the value was low. They've since cracked down on that. It's much harder. However, there is still reports that if you pick Southwest as your airline and you book really cheap Southwest fares for like under $99, that sometimes it gets through in the system and you can get reimbursed for that. But technically though, it's not supposed to be eligible. But again, there are people who have reported Southwest is the airline, cheap airfare, and you can capture the $200 incidental by paying for airfare. A quick bonus tip on the airfare incidental is that if you don't know how exactly you're flying yet, you can wait, because once you make the airline, you've got that locked in for 12 months. You can't swap it. So you can't be like, oh, I'm thinking JetBlue. Actually, I want United. Actually, I want Southwest. No, once you pick it, like, that's it. So be very deliberate in which airline you want to choose, or maybe just wait until you get your travel schedule and then pick before you depart. Number 6, this is my favorite benefit of all time across any of the premium cards, and that is the global entry credit. As someone who travels frequently, as someone who goes abroad frequently, global entry is a godsend. Why? Because 1, you get TSA PreCheck. Think of VIP through the security line at airports. You see the people who don't take off their shoes and get to leave their laptops in the bag? Those are people with TSA PreCheck. Normally you have to pay for it, but with the American Express Platinum, you get a credit to global entry, which also includes TSA PreCheck. And now let's talk about global entry. Global entry is basically expedited entry back into the US. And trust me, when you're coming into a port like LAX or you're coming into JFK, those customs immigrations lines can be brutal. With global entry, I literally show up, and sometimes I actually don't even have to input information. They just take a biometric scan of my face and they say, okay, you're good, and you walk through. And I've measured it multiple times flying back into Boston, where literally off of an international trip, I get off the plane and I do not stop walking. I don't line up for immigration, I don't line up for customs. It is literally go, global entry kiosk, scan my face, talk to the customs and immigration patrol person for a quick hot second, and I'm off and out the door. It's amazing. And with the American Express Platinum, they actually pay for global entry. I believe every 4 years the credit renews and global entry expires after 4 years, and so it's timed up perfectly. The one pro tip with global entry is that the interviews are taking a long time, largely because of 2020, 2021, shortages, now more people are traveling, yada, yada. But regardless, the pro tip is you might be able to do interview on arrival for global entry. So that is, you are going on an international trip, I don't know, to Canada or to Mexico, you come back into the US, you can do the interview at the airport, and sometimes they have availability. That's actually how I renewed my global entry when I went to Australia and I came back through SFO, San Francisco, and I did an interview on arrival. Otherwise, I think I would have had to wait another 2 or 3 months for a renewal interview. So that's a pro tip for y'all. 7, enroll in the Clear credit. So you have $189 to Clear. And Clear is kind of like TSA PreCheck, but it actually cuts the line of TSA PreCheck. The only thing I would say with Clear is it's a private company and you're giving them all of your biometric data. Now, some of you are probably arguing, well, they have our data anyway, who cares? Which, sure. But for me, I don't know. Is it faster than TSA PreCheck at the airport? Sure, it seems faster. Do I really want to give another private entity my biometrics? Not that interested. However, if that's something you value and you're like, hey, I just want to get through the airport, honestly, they have my data, who cares, sell it, whatever, then I'd say go for it. Just be sure to be enrolled by paying with your American Express Platinum. Number 8, every single year you get a $100 hotel credit for booking hotels that are part of a collection. And the 2 collections are the Fine Hotel and Resorts collection and the Hotel collection. You'll be able to see that when you book a hotel through Amex Travel. And so literally you book one night and you get a $200 hotel credit. The only thing I'd say is if you are someone with status, this typically doesn't make sense because oftentimes I believe the status perks and stuff don't come through if you book through one of these programs. However, if you don't have status and it's for kind of an off-brand or a boutique type hotel, this makes a ton of sense. We actually used this when I was in Sydney last year for my birthday, and Viv had booked the Shangri-La for a night. We got $200 credit, and that was really cool. In addition, with Fine Hotel and Resorts or the Hotel collection, you get the listed benefits that I'm gonna pull up on screen as well, so you kind of quote unquote can stack this offer. So don't overlook this $200 hotel credit. So now we're at the halfway mark. We've talked about 8 of the 16 things you must do. I do want to take a minute to pause and really just insert a little bit of a disclaimer, if you will, about the American Express Platinum. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that the American Express Platinum, for me, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. In that, for the right person, this card delivers incredible value. For the wrong person, this is just a horrible card that costs you too much money. And so, with that being said, this card is great for road warriors, for people who travel a ton. But if you're like, hey, you know, I just want to get the card because it's shiny and cool and everyone has one, it's not it for you. However, though, with that being said, that's through the lens of keeping the card long-term. For the first year, though, I think absolutely everyone should jump on the sign-up bonus because they're usually pretty elevated, ranging anywhere from like 80 to 100,000 points after like 6 or 8K spend over the course of 6 months. And if you like to support my channel in any way, I would truly appreciate it. You can feel free to check out my affiliate link down below. Number 9, status. Specifically, don't forget that you can enroll in automatic gold status with Hilton as well as Marriott. Now, is gold gonna give you luxury premium upgrades? No, but it's better than having no status. In addition, in places like Asia especially, I've noticed that they do tend to recognize status, especially if it's not a busy time or if there's not other elites. So all you need to do is go into your profile and hit enroll, and that's it. You're gonna have elite status, and you might, again, just be a little bit higher up on that upgrade list. Though a pro tip for upgrades, if you want a better shot at it, especially with hotels, don't be afraid to just email the hotel and say, hey, listen, I'm here, I'm celebrating X. Would love it if you could provide an upgrade, or if there's any upgrades available, I would really appreciate it. Trust me, folks, you don't get what you don't ask for. So just ask, and again, with a little bit of an elevated status, you might have a better shot at it. Number 10, Uber credits. Do not forget them. You get $15 from Uber, Uber Eats every single month, and $20 in December. So use those credits every single month. All you need to do is load your American Express Platinum onto your Uber account. A pro tip for you, if you have other American Express cards that give you Uber credits, let's say a gold, or you have a P2 or a player 2 or a spouse or a partner or whoever that also has a platinum or a gold, you can take all of those cards and load it into one Uber profile. So instead of $15 a month, you might have $30 a month by loading 2 cards onto one. It's a better way to get more value instead of, oh, just a little bit here, a little bit there. Hopefully that could help. Number 11, you've got an entertainment credit of $240 a year, which divides out to about $20 a month. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. My recommended, and the one I really enjoy the most, is using it for Disney Plus. Disney Plus, I think anywhere from $10 to like $20-ish, depending on what you add in there, if you want ads or no ads, yada, yada, yada. But regardless, do not forget to use that credit. So automatically load into Disney Plus, make sure you're paying with your American Express Platinum, and you'll get that credit every single month. Number 12, do not forget to use your $100 credit from Sachs, and it comes in the form of $50 in each half. So the first half of the year, you get 50, the second, you get 50. I am not that great with it because I do not shop at Saks, but Viv is really good at it because she does shop at Saks. So I just make sure to tell her, hey, listen, don't forget to use our credits, though she's usually pretty quick on it. In order to get the credit, all you need to do is swipe your card or use it at Saks Fifth Avenue. And my pro tip is, if you're ever thinking about canceling your card, make sure you actually use this credit, because you can still get the credit and cancel the card, and you might still be able to get a refund. That's gonna be a video for another day, but yeah, don't forget to take advantage of this credit. Number 13, American Express has a ton of offers, like a ton of offers. I can scroll through some here that I have currently loaded onto my profile. Some are gonna be more useful than others. And one of the ones that I actually thought was super useful, at one point I had an offer for spend $50 at Best Buy, get $50. So essentially I was just getting something for free from Best Buy, valued up to $50. So don't forget to go ahead and check every couple weeks, every couple months, what offers are preloaded into your account, because some of them are honestly pretty solid. Number 14, you got cell phone insurance automatically with the card. All you need to do is pay for your phone bill using the card. And that covers up to an $800 claim with a $50 deductible, and you can file 2 claims within a rolling 12-month period. And I actually recently used this offer and got reimbursed $550 for a broken iPhone. So do not overlook this, all right? Make sure you're paying your cell phone with a credit card that has cell phone insurance. I recommend the American Express Platinum, but you can use any card that has it. Number 15, using this card for items that you think might get damaged, stolen, or lost, because you have purchase protection that covers up to $10,000 per claim and up to a $50,000 claim in a 12-month period. This is phenomenal. Like, most cards have something where you damage it or it gets stolen, but for something that's lost, that's like almost unheard of. Like, let's say, again, the example I use all the time, AirPods, you're out jogging, one of them falls out, falls into a manhole, whatever it is, oh my gosh, I lost it. If you purchase the AirPods with American Express Platinum, and this happened within the past 90 days, you can file a claim and largely you're gonna be covered. In number 16, this is one of my favorite benefits, and it gives me a lot of assurance, and that is called return protection. What return protection is let's say again, you buy those AirPods, and Apple has like one of the craziest, in my opinion, one of the strictest return policies, which is 2 weeks. You get the AirPods, you try them on, you don't really like them, but oh my gosh, it's been 30 days, which is more standard for return policy. Well, guess what? Because you bought them with the American Express Platinum, you're actually covered for up to a $300 claim and from 90 days of item purchase. So you file a claim with American Express, say, hey, Apple won't take these back because it's in 2 weeks. And Amex goes, oh, okay, well, we can cover it because again, you've got return protection. One of my absolute favorite features, and because of the fact that Amex is like vertically integrated in that they are the issuer and the bank, there's less people to deal with, and the claims process has been super smooth when I've had to file for return protection or purchase protection. And that's it, folks. These are the 16 things you must do when you get your American Express Platinum. I'd love to hear feedback from you all. Are there things I've missed? Have you used these before? And as always, it's been an incredible video. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.